VibraGenix.
VibraGenix.
The VibraGenix.
VibraGenix.
This really is your frequency medicine cabinet.
It takes sound vibration to a whole new level.
I literally felt a vibration in my body that I hadn't felt in a long time.
This is why I love this, because it's practical.
The VibraGenix.
VibraGenix.com. If you could just try it and feel it, it will change your life.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Caroline. I'm the founder and CEO of VibraGenix and RegenX Regenerative Solutions. And I am super excited to have Jammie Perry with me today. He is the owner of Regenerative Solutions Canada and has some remarkable stories. He is an amazing human being, proud to be your friend, and really excited about what you've accomplished. I want to start a little bit with your background, because I know that you were heavily into bodybuilding, is that correct?
Yeah, first off, thanks, Caroline, for the introduction. That's it's mutual feelings for both you and
Thank
RJ.
you. Thank you.
I appreciate everything that you've done for me. So, I've had a history of athleticism my whole life. Been very, very interested in it. Background is very hockey oriented. Went very far in baseball, and then once I kind of got out of that, went into physical fitness / then got serious about it and called it bodybuilding. From there, I hired a very good friend of mine now, personal friend, which was a coach at the time, and just took it to another level and competed on stage 3 times. Very successful. Of course, the success I always attribute to other people. I mean, I put the work in, but it's the people that you surround you with that make you successful. So yeah, kudos to that guy. But yeah, that's kind of where I've always been really interested in the mechanics of the body, taxing it, physical fitness, the benefits of doing it. So I just fell in love with it and I keep rolling with it, yeah. And then helping other people with it too, right? So I've always wanted to own a gym ever since I was very, very young. It took me 40 some odd years to get there, but I did it. So yeah, that was where I started. I opened a gym, and from there, just helping people, with their fitness levels on all different levels, right? And I continue to that too as well.
Yeah, you definitely, I knew that from the moment I met you, you have a heart of service and really want to help people heal and help people be the best version of themselves. And I really appreciate that. I know when you called and then flew down from Canada and visited our facility and kind of got a little bit familiar with the VibraGenix and different things we do, one thing that you mentioned back then is that you have a lot of people, especially post-pandemic, that you come in that want to be better, want to get better, and want to get stronger, and they're too broken to even put on a program. And I think that's one of the reasons that inspired you to bring in the VibraGenix. So if you could talk a little bit about that and what are some of the things you saw?
Yeah, that was a great turning point in my life, is meeting you guys for sure. I had heard about the VibraGenix, I researched it, and originally it was kind of on the fitness level sort of thing. I was, this is really good for athletes, so I think that would be in a good corporation for the gym. And also looking at some of the elements of it, specifically my area, there's a chemical valley we call, which is refineries of all the oil and gas. We are kind of a heavily toxic area, and from that we have a lot of people with a lot of ailments that are caused from some of that long-term exposure. So yeah, I thought it was a great opportunity to at least come and look at it and see what it was all about. So that's when I got a hold of you guys, and I thought, you know what, I gotta fly down to see this. I'm always a hands-on, gotta look you in the eye kind of guy, and I thought, let's do it. And the universe will take you to places that you need to be when you need to be there, and that's where we ended up. And I shook hands with RJ, and he put me right on the machine. I still remember to this day. He's like, "I'll get on the machine," and then we talked afterwards, right? But yeah, I was delightfully surprised when we were talking afterwards, and I was like, this is much more than just for athletes. And that's where the conversation started going from there. And I realized this was something very, very special, very unique, and very needed in my community. And then we took it from there. Yeah.
So you first put the VibraGenix in your gym, and what were some of the things that happened with people that you put on the machine? Can you give us any examples?
Geez, such an array. I mean, there's so many testimonies, so many examples. I have a group of hockey players and baseball players that use it, the ATP program, the sports performance program, before they go and do an event, putting people on it before they go and lift weights, and the response. I'll give you a couple examples because I could go on for hours, but I knew what it did because I had done it. So I got this 35-year-oldish guy, very, very regimented, very disciplined in his athletics. Yeah. So I knew it was going to be a good testimony from him. I put him on it and I said, don't tell me anything. I won't tell you anything. Go work out. And the next day I followed up with him and he goes, what was that? And he said, he did leg day, so a very strenuous workout. He PR'd every exercise that he did that day.
Wow.
The next day he was like, my legs should be crushed to the point where I'm like struggling to walk in recovery. He's like, I feel good today. So I was like, yeah, that's what this thing does. And he was really, he was blown away by what it did. And another hockey player, I love telling this story because it's very unique and it's just a good heartfelt story, but he's a junior C hockey player. And I said, listen, let's do this. And I trained him for quite some time, so I knew what kind of athletic he was. He got off the machine, went played hockey. The coach took him aside after the game and asked him, he said, what was that? Like, his performance was above grade. So he went from second line to first line after that, and he stayed on first line the rest of the season. Just crazy stuff. Yeah, and great story. Great story.
That's awesome. And now you have your own story, which is pretty profound. Yes, when I heard about this, I mean, you're such an incredible human being. You have a spiritual side. You have all sides to you, very developed, and that's very rare to find in someone. And this journey that was so profound for you, it's such a profound experience. And I would like to share the pictures if you're up for that.
Absolutely.
And you can just talk people through it. Does that sound good?
Yeah, we'll go through it.
Great.
That was January 29th. Of this year, 2025. The whole day's events were very surreal because I left Regenerative Solutions, I had to do some banking on the other side of town. So typically I never take that route when I leave Regenerative Solutions. I can slip right out the road, turn right, and I'm on my way home. But that day I had to go the other side of town to the bank. So when I was done my banking, I thought, well, I'll just slip out the back way. So yeah, I took that way home, and it's just the chain of events that took me there that day. Just to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like, I was heading northbound back to my town where I live. It's a very small highway. It's not a very wide 2-lane highway. So there's a T road that I was approaching. There was a truck stopped with his signal light on. He was southbound, so he was turning left, waiting for me to go through so he could turn. As I approached, there was a vehicle that came up on his tail, and I don't know what the circumstances were, if he was just distracted or whatever, but I think he realized and panicked that he was going to smash into this truck. And so instead of going to the right into the ditch to avoid the collision, he, for some reason, pulled into the oncoming traffic, and there I was. So I had no time, really. The little bit of response, I had maybe a second and a half to respond. So as you can see by my quick response, again, I'm a gawker when I drive, so I'm always looking at the fields and looking at this and that. That day I had both hands on the steering wheel. My phone was nowhere near me. I was looking at the road. The radio wasn't even playing. So I guess I was meant to be in that position at that time. So when he pulled out, I just quickly turned my steering wheel just real quick, just so it wasn't a very head on, because that's what it would have been. And, I was doing 84 kilometers an hour. I guess that's in miles per hour is 50, 55, something of that nature. So, and he was doing about 90 kilometers an hour. So it was a high rate of speed accident. So because I did that, he started at the front quarter panel of my car. He hit most of the impact on the door. So where my vehicles landed is on the side road. I took the stop sign out and landed on the edge of the field. So he launched me a good over 50 feet. So I was heading northbound at 84, and then I was eastbound within seconds. Crazy.
That's incredible. It's amazing you even got out of the car.
It's crazy. So when I come to, I was feeling my body and making sure, checking everything, thinking that, oh my gosh, am I still here? Is everything still attached? Yeah. Once I realized that, because I couldn't open the door, I climbed over the console and got out the passenger side. There was a very, very great man that was standing there waiting for me to get out. He was the guy that was turning left, and he couldn't believe it. EMS showed up, so they evaluated me. Honestly, Caroline, my blood pressure, my vital signs were completely normal.
Wow.
They couldn't believe it. The guy in the EMS, he was like, I don't have an explanation for this. So back to my history of physical fitness, and for a lot of the listeners, we talk about how important it is to be physically fit. The EMS, he said to me, the only reason why you're walking away from this incident and not folded up like a pretzel is because of the muscle mass that you carry. He said, I've seen this 100 times. I've been to a lot of accidents. People don't walk away from this accident.
Wow.
So that's a tribute to how important it really is to take
for
care of our
sure.
bodies.
So see,
Yeah,
these
so-
are some of your pictures. Let's see. Let's start with this one.
Yeah, so January 30th, so that's the day after the accident. I didn't go to the hospital. I regret not going to the hospital the day of the accident. You get better care when you arrive in an ambulance. They really go over it. I don't know what it was, but I was like, I'll be okay. So January 30th, I was in so much pain. I thought, I better just go and get x-rays done to rule out anything that's broken. So that was the top leg is January 30th. So everything came back. I had x-rays on my sternum. My leg, everything came back non-broken. There's no fractures anywhere. Now it's just deep bone bruise and contusions that I had to deal with, right? So you can see the little heart shape in the middle of the bruising. That's from something in the door that almost would have came through the door. It would have impaled my leg, but it did stop. I have pictures on the inside of the door that shows a little piece of metal that was poking through the plastic. So that's what got me right there. So thank God it stopped early.
Yeah.
So now we're moving on to February 1st, and that's pretty much the worst of it, I believe. And February 2nd, the bruising was from top to bottom, right from my butt cheek all the way down to my knee. So I had talked to a lady that had done sports injury recovery for 25 years, a good friend of mine, and she was evaluating my injuries, and she said, this is on average a 6 to 8 month recovery for a normal person. I don't know why or how. I just attribute it to using the tools, the modalities that we have here at the center: clean diet, supplementation, and exercising. That's really the only thing that I do, but nothing out of the norm.
Well, it's definitely out of the norm for a lot of people because using the VibraGenix is a really rapid recovery tool, and then PEMF and Biomat. I don't know what else you used in your center.
Oh, absolutely. So February 2nd, I was just doing the VibraGenix, just doing the settings, bone bruising, swelling, inflammation, all those healing rejuvenation settings. I was going on it 30 minutes, just really, really trying to get the good healing process going, the head start of it. As we move on, March 1st, that's what my leg looked like.
That's just amazing. I want to check out a couple other pictures here.
Yeah, so what had ended up happening was all that bruising has to go somewhere. All that blood has to go somewhere, right? It goes to the lowest extremities. Now it's starting to travel down my leg. It's all broken up out of my quad, and then there it is. It sits into your ankles. So
Right.
I'll tell you, if anybody's had a real severe ankle sprain and your ankle is that color, you know how painful that is. I had to actually get a cane to walk, to assist me walking, because it was so much blood pooled there. So I had gone back to the hospital around February 10th and got an ultrasound done just to rule out a blood clot, because I was assuming, I couldn't believe the pain that I was in. And the symptoms obviously fit the script of maybe you got a blood clot, right? So I totally ruled out, no blood clot. So then I went back and I said, okay, well, there's nothing we can do except let the body reabsorb the blood, but it just doesn't absorb very fast. So now you have iron sitting in your ankle, extra iron, and all the other things. So in that high pressure, when you stand up, you're putting more blood down, you're pumping more blood down, right? So
For sure.
Then I changed a little bit of my techniques, did a lot of red light therapy, a lot of VibraGenix, and then of course I started doing the Mag Slim. The foot detox was there every single day, getting the blood flow, warming the blood up, really trying to push it and force it to really heal up and get the blood going out of there and get it reabsorbed. And within, you can see by the dates, my heel was all healed up, and away we go, right? So I think after everything healed, everything's a process. We don't heal up in one day, and we'd love to have everything fixed, but it doesn't work that way. Right? Our bodies are very unique in how we heal in the process and going through that. So now, after everything is healed up, now I feel the quad muscle, it's been compromised. Now what do? We throw the Mag Slim on it and start getting the muscle to contract and stimulate it to get back to where it was originally in. So my knee was pretty painful for a period of time because of the quad and everything wasn't lined up, and then maybe the way my gait was for such a period of time, it was really aggravated my knees. But I'll tell you, doing the Mag Slim on it, I'm back. Yesterday I did a leg workout yesterday, and I'm gonna say I was probably at 75% of where I was pre-accident, which is pretty miraculous. I'll take it.
It's pretty miraculous how fast you healed. I mean, it's
crazy.
unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I'm telling you, honestly, without a word of doubt, it's because of starting on the VibraGenix right away. As soon as I could get on that machine, I did, and got the healing process going. And honestly, that's where it all started. And then just using all the other modalities, right? Yeah.
That's great. Running trauma frequencies?
Oh dear, did I ever? Absolutely. I love that
sure.
one. That is one of my
That's
favorite.
That's one thing a lot of people need to understand is anytime you've had like any kind of physical trauma, that trauma will stay in your body. So will emotional and mental trauma, but especially the physical trauma. And it really slows down the healing process. So having frequencies that make that move is really important.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because that's the thing too, Caroline, is like you said, the emotional and mental part of it is if I want to relive the accident and the sound of the accident and the whole traumatic part of it, I can relive it real quick. I can just think about it and it's there. But if you're not able to properly deal with that, and like you say, it gets stuck in the body and your healing process is just so much longer and so much harder to get through, right? Absolutely. Yeah. You know, at the center, most people that come in, that's the first thing I put them on is trauma, because it doesn't matter who we are today, you know, like you say, mental, physical, emotional, trauma's trauma, and our body has a hard time dealing with it.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot more of that post-pandemic. I mean, people went through so much during the pandemic. So there was a lot of emotional trauma, a lot of fear, a lot of things kind of stuck in the body. And I think that's kind of led to what a lot of traditional medical doctors are noticing is that patients they had before the pandemic might have had 2 diagnoses that they were treating them for. And they come out and they have 10. And they're like, what's going on? How do we reverse this? How do we integrate regenerative medicine? So tell us about your regenerative solutions and tell everybody where it is.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Well, again, I can't thank your team and your guys enough. You know, all the praise goes to you guys, honestly. You know, having the machine, the VibraGenix at the gym for quite a period of time and getting the testimonies and really learning and understanding it inside and out, I thought, you know, it's time to bring it to a different level. Because like you said, post-pandemic, I was seeing the same things. People are really in need of a lot of help, and they're not sure where to go and how to get it and all those other things, and trying to explain it to them and help them. And, you know, I thought, geez, I need something a little bit more to offer them. And I mirrored what you guys have in your facility. It's beautiful. I love it. You have so much there to offer. And I thought, gee, why don't we bring that to Canada? This is my opportunity to mirror this and bring it to here in Ontario and start helping the people on this side of things, right? So yeah, I took this facility from, I took on a big project when I got here, that's for sure. You know, we put the paint on the walls, we put new flooring down, and then brought the machinery in and turned it into just such a zenny place, you know.
Oh, it's beautiful. You did
it.
such an amazing job. The before and after pictures are kind of blew me away. I was like,
Yeah,
wow,
it's
we need to
crazy.
step up our game here. It's
Well,
very,
I was
very
chasing
nice.
a leader, that's for sure. So I wanted to make it good.
Yeah, no, you did a fantastic job.
So we opened it up and, you know, got it rolling. And it's a little bit challenging at times because it is new to the area and people don't understand frequency healing. When you're talking about the foot detox, people are still thinking you put your feet in a solution and some black stuff comes out and those sort of things. So there's a lot of educational time that is spent, which is great. I love talking about it. I'm very passionate about it. And I just love helping people. And I love seeing people walk out feeling better, right? And, you know, just a couple testimonies. I'll go real quick on them. But recently we have a lady that came in that could hardly lift her feet walking in the door. And her daughters have brought her in. 95 years old. And their daughters, since December, they're like, we don't know what happened. We don't know what's going on. Nobody can figure it out. They're like, do you think this will help? And I'm like, well, it's not going to do any more worse. Like, it definitely will help. I just don't know what level, right? So let's get started. And I'll tell you, she left the other day, Caroline, she's beating her daughter to the car. She's waiting for her.
That's awesome.
It's so sweet. We love seeing it. You know, I have Natalie here, and she's just a wonderful, wonderful person and so good with the people. And we just laugh when she leaves because it's just mind blowing to watch her, you know, transgress or transform into what she's become today. And she just loves it, just loves coming. So, yeah, just, you know, so many testimonies.
Yeah, it's a whole new lease on life. You feel like you're really saving someone in a way because their quality of life was so poor that some people don't care much about being around. And it's just because they don't feel good every single day and don't have any energy.
Absolutely. Seen that so many times, so many conversations I have. And, we're just trying to educate the people how important it is to really take care of your body and, on a molecular side of things. And they'll say, hey, listen, the stuff you're putting in your body really affects the way your motor runs. I can't express it enough. And when they do those things, and they come in and use these modalities, they're life-changing. Is transforming people. It's so awesome to see.
So if people want to find you in Canada, find your facility, where are you at? How do they do that?
Well, we're right off the 401, so that's a major provincial highway, and it's a community in Chatham, Ontario, Canada, and we're at 585 St. Clair Street. So we're right on a main street, 4 lanes, very easy to get to, very visible location. So yeah, you can't miss us. Then we're a short drive from Windsor, which is right across the border to Detroit, Michigan. So we're an hour from there, an hour from London, an hour from Port Huron. So we're kind of right in the hub in the central, right central to everybody. So yeah, people are willing to travel. Caroline, we have so many people traveling to Toronto, which is 4 hours, from here. Oh, wow. People are going there for treatments of whatever they have going on. So a short drive, an hour.
Yeah. That's so worth it when you can make such a profound difference. Well, I think that all you need to really convince people is testimonials of people that you have already helped, and then hearing your story. I mean, that is profound. Just the rate of healing is phenomenal, and sharing that with people is huge.
Yeah, when I did that post, and I still look back at it, I just, I don't have time to be banged up and walking with crutches. And I love what I do. And when I was sitting at home and not able to do the things I love doing, it really bummed me out. A depression state comes in, right?
Oh, for sure. I see that very frequently with people that are ill. I always try to treat them with mood elevation because it's a real thing. When you don't feel good, it's depressing. It totally changes your quality of life.
Oh, absolutely. And I always say you don't know what good feels like because you felt so bad for so long. And when they start feeling good, that you can really see them vibrating. Their eyes change. You can see the pain coming away from it. And just looking at people on that level, you can see that they're happy. They're happy.
Their total affect changes. It's like their energy field completely transforms.
Yeah, they're smiling, and I just love it. It's so exciting. So yeah, I'm thankful and grateful for healing up so quick and being able to get back to doing what I love doing. Yeah.
And it also gives you a different level of compassion for the people coming in too, because you know how hard it is.
Oh, absolutely. To
not be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. And that's, again, I can use that with people that come in, and if anybody says, oh, well, you don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
No, I do know what it's like. And the compassion part is there. But also, I like pushing people, a little bit past their comfort zone as well, because we do need to be challenged, right? And we need to challenge our bodies. And when we challenge our bodies, good things happen. I do advocate for that quite heavily.
And you do have to push them out of their comfort zone to change their diet. That's a big one. That's hard to do with some people.
I'm sure you see that all the time as well.
Oh, yeah. They want to come in and use the center and all of that, but it's like they don't want to change their diet. They want to keep living that same lifestyle. And it's like you would be progressing so much faster, especially if they're trying to lose weight or whatever it is.
Yeah, on every level, right? I tell people, I'm like, you can't keep doing the same things you're doing that got you here and expect a different result when you leave. So I had a gentleman real early when I first opened, and he had profound results, and amazing guy. He's in the 65-ish area, and he had hernia surgery, and he was unable to do crunches, exercise, do his walks like he normally does. So he came in and very, very skeptical, and I loved it. I loved everything. It was so awesome. He sat down in the chair, and we were talking after a couple sessions, and he picked my brain, Caroline, and I had the answers like this, just going on. And he's looking at me, he gave me that smile, that little smirk, and he said, you know what I'm doing, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm 10 steps ahead of you. I've already dealt with 100 people like you. I love it. So we had a really good relationship going. Very short period of time. He wanted to do the package session, so we did 12 sessions. And along the way, I'm asking him, how you doing? What's going on? He's like, I'll tell you at the end. I'm like, okay, fair enough. Let's do that, because he was skeptical, right? So it came to the last session. We're sitting there, and he said, so James, I'll tell you what's happened. And I said, okay, let's have it. And he said, I'm able to do my crunches now. I'm
wow.
back to lifting my 25-pound dumbbells, which I was doing
Nice.
previous to the hernia surgery. I'm back walking my 5K with my dog every single day. So just again, another profound transformation, really, especially at that age, right? We talked and he said to me, he says, you know what I think about this stuff? He says, you know, there's two things that you can use this for. You can use this to justify your life, or you can use this to transform your life and put you back to where you wanted to be. And I thought to myself, you're absolutely right. You know, here's a guy that's 65, and again, he could have just said, you know, I'm not going to recover,
Right.
and got into that. But no, he is a strong-willed, strong-minded. He recovered. And again, his diet was very good and his exercise regimen was very good. And this is where he ended up. So I use that phrase a lot with people just because, you know, and I'm okay with that too. You know, if you want to use it to justify your life and do the, you know, the bad things, everybody does everything for different reasons and good for you, right? So, but I'll that sticks with me forever.
No, that'll stick with me too.
Yeah, it was great.
Well, you're amazing. Thank you so much for your time. I hope lots of people reach out because you're doing amazing things in Canada. And
Yeah,
I
awesome.
really appreciate that. We're on the same path, trying to reach
Yes,
as many
yes, we
and
are.
help as many as possible.
We tried to do our best. And thank you for everything, Carol. I really appreciate it. Yeah, this has been great.
Absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
You as well.